This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning. It is Monday, and Monday comes early now in case you were up last night watching the football game or any other programs last night.
That is right. It is what do they call it? Super Monday, when like close to 14 million people are expected to call in sick today after the Super Bowl. And there was a study out, too, that more people want Super Bowl Sunday to be declared a national holiday. I'm up for that. I'm fine with that.
You mean the day after the Sunday?
I think both days should be it.
Both days.
Or there's always been the big talk about having Super Bowl on a Saturday.
Really?
Yeah, that would be kind of nice too. That'd be a little bit easier to take on a Monday, right?
Looking toward a nice week, John Scalzi.
Yeah, good news.
Yes, indeed. We have some very nice weather out there anticipated for the afternoon. During the morning hours, though, we got to get rid of some of this fog. That's the only thing. It's in Manatee County mostly, where its dense fog advisory is up until 9 a.m. this morning. This is the tower cam or the webcam from Cortez Bridge. We'll put this into motion starting at 3 o'clock this morning. That is when the dense fog advisory was issued, and you can see how dense the fog gets at times. The good news is in the last hour or so, it looks like some of that fog may be breaking up just a little bit. Visibilities have improved a bit there. But still, that advisory up through 9 o'clock this morning, so just allow yourself a little extra commute time. If you're in Manatee County, visibility is down to a quarter mile now in Venice, actually, even though that's outside of the zone of the dense fog advisory. Half a mile in Sarasota, and 3/4 of a mile as you head further to the south. So it's patchy, it's around, it could be on your morning commute. We have no rain right now on radar, though Cooper and Sarasota picked up a ½ inch yesterday. Temperatures are generally speaking around the 65-degree mark or so. And your commute time forecast calls for fog this morning. Watch for that. Otherwise, that burns off early, and your trip home will be delightful. Promise. Mostly sunny skies, temperatures in the low 70s to upper 60s, between 5 and 7, and just a glorious week ahead. We'll detail the week's forecast in just a few. Back to you guys.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Some delays are building right now in Manatee County. You'll see there first off on Manatee Avenue West as you head westbound around Pamasola. Some buildups there already. Also, the usual delays on 301 and State Road 70. In the northern half of Sarasota County, a little delay there on 41 southbound as you leave the 301 fork and head toward Bay Vista and Weber and Siesta Drive. And our final map to the south will show us not much to report at 6:03 on your Monday morning.
All right, our top story this morning and throughout the weekend, brush fires burning across North Charlotte County. At least 12 fires have popped up. It's
a bad season. Marla Spencer is live right now outside the Florida Forest Service in Bradenton with the latest. Marla?
Ray and Stephanie, we're being told this morning by the Florida Forest Service that more than a dozen fires in Charlotte County are still active this morning. Now, it was a busy night for investigators. They are still busy as well, searching and looking for the people who are responsible behind the string of brush fires in North Charlotte County. And that fire is suspected to be arson. Now, just yesterday, 13 fires in that area was reported to fire and EMS. And according to a map on the Florida Forest website, 7 fires were seen near Jobin Road, 2 near Charlotte Beach, 2 near Veterans Boulevard, and 1 near Hillsborough Boulevard, as well as 1 on Loring Drive. Now, those fires caused a 1-mile section of Jacob Street and State Road 776 and Biscayne and State Road 776 to be closed. And now we're being told this morning that those roads are now open for commuters this morning. Now, in the meantime, deputies are continuing to ask for the public's help and the search for a suspicious vehicle. They are saying that that suspicious vehicle was a red older model 4-door vehicle, and it was last seen with at least 2 young men inside. Anyone with information on that vehicle as well as those fires are asked to call 911. Reporting live in Bradenton, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thanks, Marla. Now, for the latest on this wildfire situation, plus breaking news, traffic, and your up-to-the-minute first alert forecast, especially with all that fog out there this morning, head over to our app. You can find it under WWSB or My Suncoast. And now to new details this morning on a deadly train accident in South Carolina that left 2 people dead and more than 100 injured.
I just read the wire now. Amtrak is blaming CSX for the incident. They say that a padlock was locked up. They couldn't get to it for the switch area. ABC's Serena Marshall has the latest on this investigation.
A switch in a wrong position, the likely cause of a deadly head-on train collision.
There was bodies everywhere. The seats came up off the floor.
Nearly all of the 139 passengers of the 7-car Amtrak train injured.
It just derailed. I just felt it go up and I was in the floor. I don't remember much after that.
The impact was bad, man. It ripped my chair right off the floor. 2
Amtrak workers, the conductor and an engineer, died in the crash.
We've had a train derailment at Charleston Highway and Pine Ridge Drive.
Investigators say a track switch was set in a position that forced the Amtrak train off the main track and onto a side track where a parked freight train sat. According to Amtrak, signals were down and the owner of the tracks, freight rail company CSX, was in charge of the tracks and the traffic.
Was aligned for the trains coming down this way to be diverted into the siding. So the bottom line is the CSX train is parked in the siding.
The investigation is ongoing with NTSB investigators on the scene.
We have not been able to even find the event recorder at this time, the event data recorder for either train. So we do not know until we get the event recorders if the Amtrak train applied brakes.
The freight company offered condolences to the families of those who were killed and said it is working with the investigative team.
The crash investigators say was avoidable, and their investigation will focus on why the switch wasn't put back in place to allow the Amtrak train to continue moving down the main track. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Now this morning we're learning more about the 2 people that were killed in that crash. The train's engineer Michael Kempf as well as the conductor both died in that accident. Kempf's brother says he served in the Army for about 20 years before working for both CSX and Amtrak. He also says that Kempf had seen his fair share of accidents during his time with Amtrak and that his brother was even concerned that he would die in a crash.
And he was concerned about it. And he even told me, he says, what happens to me next time I get into a crash? Am I going to die?
Kempf leaves behind a wife and 3 children.
6:07 right now in North Florida. The cleanup is underway this morning in the Panhandle after severe weather blew through on Sunday. The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office tweeted some pictures of the damage. The storm rolled through the Destin area yesterday, damaging power lines and fences. Some trees were also knocked down as well. A surveillance camera was rolling when the bad weather moved through the area. Look at that video of the backyard pool. Despite all the damage, fortunately, in all this, no injuries have been reported.
New this morning, the federal government is getting closer to making a decision about the conservation status of the world's largest turtle. NOAA has received a petition from a fishing group, and that petition asks that the Northwest Atlantic Ocean's leatherback sea turtle be listed as threatened but not endangered. Looking at this little guy, or big guy right there. Now, leatherbacks, they can weigh 2,000 pounds, and they have been listed as endangered for more than 40 years. NOAA will finish collecting information about the turtle by the end of today and is expected to make a decision about the turtles later on this year.
Meantime, a federal wildlife refuge in South Florida is setting up traps for pythons. Burmese pythons have infested the Everglades National Park. Now a National Wildlife Refuge north of that in Palm Beach is trying to keep the dangerous snakes away by setting up traps along the perimeter of their park. Refuge managers hope the traps will be a way for cost-effective python control. Dancing in the streets in Philadelphia after a very long night. Philadelphia fans will celebrate, particularly this play that involved Trey Burton of Venice High School. He throws the ball to the quarterback to lead them to their first ever big Super Bowl win.
That is right. The Eagles are the 2018 Super Bowl champs. What a game last night. The Eagles defeated 5-time Super Bowl champs, the Patriots, 41-33. A great game. This is the Eagles' very first ever Super Bowl title, the first Lombardi Trophy. Eagles quarterback Nick Foles also made history by becoming the first NFL player to throw and catch a touchdown in the Super Bowl. One of the best plays from last night. Incredible, incredible. A former Suncoast football standout has officially cemented himself on every Super Bowl 52 highlight reel that you're going to see for years to come. Trey Burton, the former star quarterback at Venice High School, once again threw touchdown passes in green and white at 4th and goal before halftime. The now Eagles tight end took a reverse handoff from Corey Clement, hit his actual quarterback, Nick Foles, to take a 10-point lead going into halftime. This was so incredible. You
yeah,
watch,
amazing. Because, you know, Burton,
Eagles.
Well, Burton's got a background as a quarterback.
Yes, and now he's tight end for the Eagles.
Right, so he has thrown the ball before, so who better for this trick play? But it was so interesting how the quarterback walked up and pretended to talk to the line about some confusion. See right there?
Right.
And then also the quarterback kind of wanders toward the end zone all by himself. I don't know why teams don't do more trick plays, because they often work.
But I'll tell you what, that is what is supposed to happen in a Super Bowl. That is one of the most exciting games that I stayed up past my bedtime to watch in a very long time. Like, that's a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was a close one indeed.
Now, Ray, there's no football for like 8 months.
Can you watch some on tape, maybe? Can you watch that on DVR?
That's a great idea. I'm just going to replay Super Bowl over and over.
We're going to talk about the best and worst commercials with a local advertising expert who will join us here in the studio.
That is right. And a disturbing medical scam in the Sunshine State. We've got that for you when we come back.
But first, a look at the stadium from last night's big game.
That is right.
Cold there, right?
It is, but the good news is it's going to get all the way up to 14 degrees, but it is currently 0 right now.
Sunblock.
Yep.
We'll have more of the local forecast with John Scalzi. You're going to like his forecast for the week. That is, if you like sunny weather. After this.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
You love your couch and want to protect it from spills, food, and scratching, shedding pets. Introducing Couch Coat, the reversible, washable quilted cover that protects your couch. Shield against spills. Wow! Stop stains and dirty pet paws and sharp claws. Plus, it's reversible with 2 stylish colors. Guaranteed to fit any couch up to 92 inches or your money back. It even has covers to protect armrests. Machine washable too.
My grandkids destroy everything, but with Couch Coat, my couch is always protected, looking as good as it did the day I bought it.
Get your Couch Coat for just $19.99, and it's reversible in brown and cream, like 2 couch coats for the price of 1. Order right now, and you can double your offer. Get a second Couch Coat. Just pay a separate fee. Order right now.
Call 1-800-943-0710 to get your couch coat. Call now or go to couchcoat.com. So call 1-800-943-0710. That's 1-800-943-0710. Call now.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Please join us in welcoming the 2 newest additions to the Lincoln lineup, our flagship luxury sedan, the 2018 Lincoln Continental, and the totally redesigned 2018 Lincoln Navigator, featuring 450 horsepower, 10-speed transmission, and many best-in-class features. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment, every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC 7 News app. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Here's our Sarasota Bay webcam. We'll put this into motion. Check it out now. Starting at 3:37 this morning, advancing it to the current time. and it's a polar bear and a snowstorm, basically. We have a dense fog advisory up through our area for until 9 o'clock. Now, that shot was actually taken in Sarasota at the Van Wezel, out of the area of the dense fog advisory. But as I've been saying all morning, just because you live a quarter mile south of University does not mean that you won't see any fog because you're not in the dense fog advisory area. Anywhere across our area, as long as we have a westerly wind flow, we have the potential of seeing some reduced visibilities. Venice coming in at a quarter mile right now, Sarasota coming in at the airport at half mile. So with that westerly component to our wind, which we currently have, northwest now at about 5, and a dew point temperature match at 100%, got that possibility of some patchy fog that could limit your visibility during these morning hours. Allow for that for your commute time this morning. Otherwise, by 9 o'clock this morning, that fog will begin to lift. We'll see the clouds begin to part as a frontal boundary sinks southward, and we are on the road at that hour to some lovely weather as we head into the afternoon. 64 degrees at that time, 69 degrees by 12 noon. The clouds will have lifted. We'll see more sunshine in the afternoon, mostly sunny skies. Temperature coming in well above average at 74. We'll probably top it out at about 75 for a daytime high and then taper off this evening to about 67 degrees. There is a little bit of cloud cover out there. That's associated with the frontal boundary sinking southward, but that is in the process of kind of breaking apart right now. The forecast calling for some pleasant weather for you today. We'll look for north wind coming in at about 10, switching to the northeast at about 10 as well. As I mentioned, the cloud cover is associated with that frontal boundary. The frontal boundary has a wind shift involved with it that'll draw down some of the drier air that's located just to the north. That drier air will be with us for about 12 to 20 hours. And then we'll see the wind shift once again to the east, and that will provide us with a little bit more moisture. So there's a potential tomorrow morning for a little bit of patchy fog around here as well. We'll be watching for that. As I mentioned, the north wind shifts to the east overnight, bringing that moisture back temporarily. We'll have 2-foot seas. Light chop should be a pretty nice day for boating. Forecast looks like this. I don't have a first alert forecast day in the forecast anytime this week. One of those nice weeks where everything is looking pretty good. Daytime high today, 75, mix of sun and clouds. This tomorrow afternoon, we'll see 78 degrees as a daytime high, pretty close to the 80-degree mark. Average temperature for this time of year, about 72. So we're well above average each and every day this week. We'll have a series of little fronts that'll move through, but they won't bring us any rainfall. Maybe some cloud cover Wednesday into Thursday, but then that cloud cover gives way to some less humid air for Friday. Humidity's back on Saturday with another front coming our way and a chance of rain both Saturday and Sunday. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. All right, let's take a look at your first alert traffic at 6:18 this morning. We do have some of your typical slowdowns, especially if you're heading over the bridges. They're starting to get a little backed up this morning if you're headed into Sarasota from Palmetto or from Ellington. If you're heading into North Sarasota, not too much to see out there today. You do have some fog, but it was mainly in Manatee County, so you don't have too much of that. A little slowdown there on Fruitville Road as well, starting to see some congestion on that, as well as Bee Ridge. And then if you're in South Sarasota, the roads are looking pretty good out there. That is your first alert traffic. All right, now to the growing outrage over what appears to be a phony medical case.
Some Florida parents are accused of pretending their teenager had brain cancer to get financial donations. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has the disturbing details.
These parents facing felony charges, accused of convincing their 13-year-old son he had terminal cancer, all to bilk their community out of cash. Police in Florida saying the boy spent the last 8 months believing he's going to die from brain cancer. His mother, Ginny Long, posting on Facebook in December that they were told it would be a miracle if he was still with them by Christmas. A GoFundMe page raised nearly $1,000, and the parents sold these T-shirts at the boy's middle school, all for his supposed treatment. Only investigators say medical records prove he never had cancer, a type of alleged scam that's duped others. In 2015, this former beauty queen was arrested, accused of falsely claiming she had leukemia and raising nearly $14,000.
I would never think that somebody would exploit a disease to gain money.
GoFundMe says campaigns with misuse make up less than 0.1% of all campaigns. The site has a guaranteed refund policy, so everyone who donated to help the boy in Florida will get their money back. Experts say do your homework when donating on crowdfunding websites. Make sure the site has consumer protections against fraud, reach out to the organizer or website directly, and always use a credit card.
And those parents are charged with fraud and child abuse. Police say their son and another child are now in foster care as the investigation moves forward. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Up next, a live interview on Super Bowl ads and new reports from the scene of the South Carolina train crash.
That's right. We're going to have your GMA First Look. It's all coming up right after this.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye. And over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation.
1-800-813-0109.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt would leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long con.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you too.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
This is a live picture right now of U.S. Bank Stadium, looking pretty quiet right now. Cold also, about 0 degrees, high of 14 there today. But last night, of course, that's where it all happened, the big game. Eagles beat the Patriots 41-33. Nick Foles, the quarterback, is the MVP. Many of you, though, watched for the commercials. So we brought in a local marketing expert, Joe Grano from Nextmark. And Joe, we asked you to come in after watching the commercials last night. Did you notice any kind of trend in what you saw last night during the commercials compared to previous years?
Well, good morning, Ray. Yes, absolutely. I think the trend was about entertainment. It was about a social aspect of the commercials, and it was about tying things back to getting people online as well.
You know, the very first commercial, which we're not going to show anything yet, we're going to show you one in a second. The very first commercial involved a baby that was born without limbs. It became a champion para-Olympian skier, and I loved it. And I said to Erin afterwards, I said, that was great, but who was the sponsor again? She said, Toyota. I missed entirely. Sometimes the ads are so creative, you miss who it's actually for.
Yes, absolutely. It seems like there were a series of ads that were very socially relevant and inspiring. However, it took a while. The Verizon ads were another very good example of that as well.
Now, we asked you to pick one you liked a lot and one you didn't like very much. And the one you spoke out about was one that I didn't love. It involved Giants quarterback Eli Manning and his wide receiver Odell Beckham. I felt a little uncomfortable. Here's what we saw last night. So why did you like this so much?
Well, it was funny, it was non-controversial, it was the Super Bowl and Dancing with the Stars all rolled into one, Ray.
All right.
It was a fun ad.
And I asked you to point out one you didn't like, and you weren't the only one that didn't like this one, tying Martin Luther King Jr. into a pickup truck ad. Let's roll that one now.
Be important, wonderful. If you want to be recognized, wonderful. If you want to be great, wonderful. But recognize that he who is greatest among you shall be your son.
Why didn't you like this one?
Well, I personally felt that trying to tie a social leader like Martin Luther King to a truck was really a stretch. And for example, we see so many times where we see inspiration in the wrong place, and it seemed to be very out of place with this ad.
Now, sometimes when ads become controversial, it helps the advertiser. Might this, though, backfire for this advertiser?
I think it did. If you looked on Twitter last night, it was trending very negatively. Really? The outrage was incredible, and it was a very consistent trend.
Thank you for coming in.
You're welcome.
Joe Grano from Nextmark here in Sarasota, local marketing and advertising executive, so we appreciate your early wake-up call today.
My pleasure.
Took one for the team. All right, thank you, Joe. All right, Stephanie, what do we have next?
All right, well, keeping on the same note, so are you home watching in your pajama pants on the couch this morning? Well, you are not alone. There's going to be a lot of people calling in sick today, around 14 million per estimates. A survey says the Monday after the Super Bowl, or Super Sick Monday as they call it, is one of the biggest sick days of the entire year. They say this year the numbers may end up actually be even higher because of the flu.
Love to hear from you. What commercials did you like and not like? There's our respective Facebook pages on ABC7, so say hello and also check out some content we uploaded. I put a picture up from the sunset in Sarasota on Saturday, the sunset in Venice on Sunday.
Really on Super Bowl watch? Are you on like sunset Super Bowl watch?
It was a busy weekend all over the area, and also some shots of the music half marathon. That you need to see.
That's true.
Every mile a different band.
That is true.
Got some pictures on Facebook for that. All right.
All right, good stuff. All right, well, there are new reports this morning from the scene of the South Carolina train collision.
That's certainly a sad story. With more on that, here is ABC's David Curley.
In this morning's GMA First Look, investigators say the tragic remains of this crash were avoidable. A switch in the wrong position, causing a head-on collision, sending passengers flying.
When the train started swerving, I knew something was going on.
The 7-car Amtrak train diverted onto a side track, slamming into a parked freight train.
Everybody screaming, and then I knew that we were in big trouble. I knew that it was going to be either we were going to start flipping or that we were going to implode.
The Amtrak engineer and conductor in the front engine were killed. More than 100 of the 139 passengers treated at local hospitals.
The question is, why was that switch set the way it was?
Finding out why that switch, that track switch, was set the way that it was, that will be key.
And we'll have the latest on the investigation coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm David Curley, ABC News, Casey, South Carolina.
Neil Lane designs for Hollywood's biggest stars, and at Kay, he designs for the star in your life.
This ring was inspired by an Art Deco design that goes back 100 years.
At Kay, the #1 jewelry store for... Yes! Every kiss begins with Kay.
The
The rules of aging are changing. New jobs at any age, crushing it at every stage. Numbers don't define us. 25, 45, 65 is a state of mind. Dreams to seize, more opportunities, disrupting aging. Behind all this changing is AARP, opening doors for you, for me. Too old, too young, nuh-uh, we're in this as one. So let's take on today and every day with AARP, real possibilities.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
ABC7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, the governor is headed to Puerto Rico today. We're going to have a look at how he plans to assist with those recovery efforts.
I'm live at the Florida Forest Service in Bradenton, where we're learning more information on 13 brush fires in Charlotte County. What we know is straight ahead.
And the Selby Library has their third annual career fair for kids today. Those stories and more this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning to you. It is 6:34 on this definitely feels like a Monday morning, day after Super Bowl. Everybody's a little squeaky, rubbing out this morning. It was a rough one, but a great game last night.
Good game. Many of you broke curfew last night to watch that exciting game. The Eagles won. Final score 41-33. Eagles quarterback Nick Foles was the MVP, so indeed exciting. While we watched the game, John Scalzi watched the weather radar.
I did. I tell you, it was pouring in our area starting at around 6:30, but just a little to the north, from about Tampa Bay northward, we were looking at some record-breaking rainfall there. They had over 2.5 8.5 inches of rainfall in Tampa, breaking an all-time day record. So had that shifted just a little bit further to the south, we would have been inundated with rains as well. Flood warnings were all across the Big Bend region yesterday afternoon. This morning, we have our own issues. Fog is a problem across the Suncoast. This is the Cortez Bridge webcam put into motion. Now, we've had periods of some denser fog at this particular location, and now the light seems to be a little bit better this morning. As we head into the next hour, watch out for some dense fog in places. That dense fog reducing visibility in some locations to less than half a mile. So just allow yourself a little extra time. Forecast for today looks pretty good. We'll call for a daytime high that tops out in the near 74 degree, 75 degree range. And for the bus stop forecast, it all looks pretty good. Just watch out for that fog this morning at those bus stops. Back to you.
All right, John, talking again soon. Checking first alert traffic right now. A little buildup there on Cortez as you head westbound away from 14th Street West. Otherwise, not too bad so far. A lot of folks waking up later today due to the late night game. Also 41 South you'll see there as you head down towards South County, getting past Sickney Point and Clark. And our final map to the south will show us all clear at 6:36 on your Monday morning.
In our top story this hour, brush fires burning across North Charlotte County. At least 12 of those fires have now popped up.
Our Marla Spence is live at the Florida Forest Service in Bradenton with more on these fires. Marla.
Rain, Stephanie, we're being told by the Florida Forest Service that 13 fires, they are still active but 100% contained, which means that they cannot spread this morning. Now, right now, investigators are continuing to work to find out who are the people behind those string of brush fires in North Charlotte County suspected to be arson. Just yesterday, 13 fires in that area were reported to Charlotte County Fire and EMS, according to a map on the Florida Forest website. There were 9 fires along 776 southwest of 41 and 4 northeast of US 41. Those fires caused a 1-mile section of Jacob Street and State Road 776 and Biscayne Street Road 776 to be closed, and we're being told that those roads are now open for commuters. In the meantime, deputies are continuing to ask for the public's help in identifying a suspicious car that was in that area. It was a older red 4-door car that was seen in that area with at least 2 young people inside. Anyone with information is urged to call police or the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office. I'm Marla Spence reporting live in Bradenton for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. For more on the wildfire situation and other breaking news in the area, check out our new app at the App Store. Find us under My Suncoast or WWSB. Other news now, a man in Bradenton seen right here is behind bars after witnesses say he tried to lure a 10-year-old girl into his car. According to the child's mother, Rolando Bautista had driven past their home on 13th Street East in Bradenton several times. The little girl was walking to a neighborhood house when Bautista allegedly parked his car and told her to get in so they could go to the park together. The girl instead yelled to her mother. Witnesses confronted the suspect and detained him until deputies arrived.
Well, some controversy, a city that turned purple for a moment, and an underdog is on top this morning. The Eagles upset the Patriots 41-33 to win their very first Super Bowl ever. As ABC's Maggie Rulli shows us, the celebrations are just beginning, or probably still going on right now.
Overnight, thousands of Philly fans packed the streets of downtown Philadelphia.
I'm so happy. I've been waiting for this all my life.
And yes, they climbed on just about everything. It's a celebration decades in the making.
And for the Philadelphia Eagles, the long drought is over. Finally.
Against the odds and with backup QB Nick Foles, the Eagles soared over the Patriots 41-33.
You worked so hard your whole life to get here. Everything culminates.
Bringing home the Vince Lombardi Trophy for the first time in franchise history.
This championship means more to this city than a lot of championships mean to others.
It means everything to the people. The Philadelphia metro area needs this, and we've waited a long time.
earning congrats from the president to Rocky himself. Their historic win robs Tom Brady and the Patriots from getting a record-tying 6th Super Bowl victory.
But we just obviously didn't get the job done.
As for the night's other stars, Pink battled through the flu, singing a pitch-perfect national anthem. Justin Timberlake was a one-man halftime show delivering all of his greatest hits. And he gave the world perhaps the real champ from Super Bowl 52, Selfie Kid.
Super Bowl selfies.
The big game day may be over, but now comes the big day for air travel. The Minneapolis airport's expecting 70,000 people today. Their previous record, around 47,000. Right now, they're telling travelers to get there at least 4 hours before their flight. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Other news now, the sequel to the FBI memo could be out soon. The Democrats on the House Intelligence Committee may call for a vote today to release their memo on the FBI. Senator Dick Durbin says this report refutes part of the GOP-led memo from Chairman Devin Nunes. President Trump has said that the first memo vindicated him in the investigation about possible Russia influence in the 2016 campaign. But some lawmakers disagree. Now, if the committee votes in favor of releasing the second memo on the Russia investigation, President Trump would have 5 days to object to the memo's release.
And today, Governor Rick Scott will travel to Puerto Rico to offer help with Hurricane Maria recovery efforts there. He's going to be meeting with Puerto Rico's governor, emergency management officials, and visit utility line workers from Florida who are working on the island currently. Now, since Hurricane Maria made landfall back in September, the majority of the island has regained power, and full recovery of the electrical grid is expected sometime later on this month.
All right, 6:41 happening today. Selby Public Library in downtown Sarasota hosts a career fair for 200 students from Booker High School and the Sarasota Military Academy. This career fair will give students the chance to ask questions to professionals in a broad range of careers and ask them about challenges in their field. That'll be today on First Street at 10:30 a.m. for students. A lot of these career days can really spark a future interest. I had a chance to tour a TV station when I was about 12 years old in Buffalo.
And lo and behold, look what has happened to it.
What do you know?
Yes, it influenced you that much.
It did. So
And a success story.
Career fairs can make all the difference. So good luck with those kids today at the Selby Library.
They really can. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest in your first alert traffic and how a Florida man lost the use of his leg after battling the flu.
We'll have that story and much more, including John Scalzi's forecast, when we come back.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. La! It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Well, I knew that.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
It's everywhere, everywhere.
Some medical professionals are hiding the true cost of your health care. But now you have the power to get the best price.
Can't keep this secret forever.
Costly Care, an ABC 7 investigation tonight at 6. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we love our viewer photos, and this is one sent in by Kathy Ray from the Comas. We thank her for this. Now, she is a professional photographer, but this photo was shot with an iPhone. How about that? Isn't that fantastic? She shot several of them that are really amazing, and I'll put them up all on my website, John Scalzi, ABC 7. If you were out there looking for Eagles this morning, you'd have enough time because it is thick fog in some locations. Cortez Bridge webcam put into motion shows really just obscured conditions in some locations with visibility down to a quarter mile or less. Now, it has improved at this site over the course of the last hour or so, but in other locations, it's even gotten a little bit worse over the course of the last half hour. So just allow yourself a little extra time. Dense fog advisory for Manatee County up until 9 o'clock. 63, the air temperature. The dew point is a match. That means 100% relative humidity, and as long as we have this westerly wind flow, we have that chance of seeing some patchy fog, especially near the coastline as that sea fog is kind of blown on shore. We've had, over the last hour, reports of visibility even as far south as Venice at less than a quarter mile. We have 64 degrees by about 9 o'clock, I think. The fog will have lifted. The sun will have come up. It'll start to mix away some of the cloud cover that we'll have around. And we'll look for a lot more sunshine as we head into the noontime hour and a temperature of about 70 degrees. As we head into the afternoon, the sun will really work. The winds will have shifted because a front is moving through as I speak, and that drier air will filter in, making the afternoon less humid and more comfortable. Expected temperature of about 74. Despite the fact we have a front coming through, it's really not going to cool us off all that much. Hour by hour forecast putting you through the afternoon till about 1 o'clock. We'll start to see the clouds begin to fall apart by this evening. Should be beautiful. Should be a very nice sunset indeed. Tomorrow morning when we wake up, the moisture may return due to an easterly wind, and we may have some patchy fog around. I don't think it'll be as thick or as bad as we have around this morning, though. Cloud cover gives way to sunshine. You can already see the holes in the clouds beginning to build with clearing located back to the north. That's what's in store for us as this frontal boundary sinks south. The tail end of that frontal boundary may return north as a warm front for parts of the northern Gulf Coast. And as we head into tomorrow and the day after, thunderstorms may be possible in the northern Gulf Coast. But I think we stay dry. We should be just fine. So the forecast for boating, remember, sea fog out there this morning, but that gives way to a little bit more sunshine this afternoon with a north wind at 10. Watch it shift to the east at about 10, and that may bring a little bit of patchy fog around tomorrow morning. Light chop, 2-foot seas. Nice day to be out there on the water after we get rid of the morning fog. We'll look for a daytime high temperature today of about 75, and then as we head into the next few days, it just gets better. Temperatures coming up near the 80-degree mark. Now, we will have kind of a fluid situation with little frontal boundaries trying to work their way through. They won't trigger off any showers, and they won't touch our temperatures all that much, but they may occasionally bring us a little bit more cloud cover on certain days, like Wednesday into Thursday. They may bring us a little drier air, like Friday. And then as we head into the weekend, one front may actually bring us a slight chance at a few showers around. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look at your traffic this morning. 649 out there. We've got some congestion out there on the roadways. We have a little bit of your normal slowdowns if you're coming across the bridges and coming in there into Manatee County. In North Sarasota County, not too bad out there. You've got your normal slowdowns at Fruitville and University Parkway. If you're heading into South Sarasota down there, the roads are looking pretty smooth this morning at 649.
Well, for the third straight week now, the number of flu cases continues to be higher than average, both in Florida and nationwide. And in some cases, the effects of the flu can last a lifetime. In the Panhandle, this man lost control of his right leg. He got the flu and pneumonia in December. Ronald Miller has to use a wheelchair now to get around. He's a truck driver, and he's not sure if he can ever drive again. Here's his wife's comments.
He literally died on us, and they brought him back. It's been really bad since then. It shut down some major organs. It's done a lot. It's took him from 260 pounds down to 190 pounds.
All from the flu. He is now living in a rehab center until his family can afford to build a ramp at their home. Very sad story. All from the flu.
All from the flu. You have to take this flu season seriously. We've been talking about it the last few weeks. This one is worse than most, and a lot of times there's some symptoms that are quickly sending people to the hospital. So take it seriously.
I urged you to stay home on Friday.
I did. He's like, stay home. Do not come infect us.
I'll anchor solo. Just stay home. I can't get, because you pass them back. You know, it's a cycle.
Yeah, it's
here.
like a cycle right here at the station.
We pass them back and forth.
That is true.
Great video up next of baby goat and his very own cart.
Oh, this little guy in his cart raises spirits on a little Colorado farm. A happy story to send off your Monday morning on a good note when we come back.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured or arrested, I know this feels like the end of the road, but really it's the beginning of a long, potentially stressful process. So give us a call. Let us give you some peace of mind.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face, in your face,
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
Welcome back. 6:54. Here are the headlines today.
Governor Rick Scott will travel to Puerto Rico to offer help with Hurricane Maria recovery efforts. Plus, this morning, the Selby Public Library in Sarasota is hosting a career fair for more than 200 students from Booker High School and the Sarasota Military Academy.
And a continued warning, Facebook has released a statement about an explicit video that has been circulating around the nation and here on the Suncoast. Federal and state officials are now conducting what they call a very aggressive investigation about a awful, awful video. John?
We are looking at a nice day today after we get rid of this morning fog. Dense fog in Manatee County, advisory up until 9 o'clock. In other places, you might see it along the coastline as well. 64 by around 5 a.m. as we head into the afternoon. 74 degrees, and the beach ball forecast for your evening walk calls for 4 out of 4 beach balls.
Very nice. Here's our best video of the day. A baby goat in Colorado on the move. Little Hope was born without movement in her legs or tail, but she still runs around like a champ thanks to that golf cart. Her owners say they have recently begun to notice slight movement in her tail and one leg. They're all hopeful that Hope will continue the progress in her high spirits. That is a cute little thing, isn't it?
It is. So I can watch this all morning.
Yeah,
it's a good start to the Monday morning. Got the Eagles make Super Bowl history and baby goat cart. Could there possibly be a better Monday?
Eagles and goats can't beat
Eagles
them.
and goats.
That's right.
That's your Monday morning. We hope you have a good day out there.
You know, I just did a search. Do you know how many eagles nests are in our Suncoast area? Do you have a guess?
No.
Florida Fish and Wildlife recorded eagles nests.
How many?
Over 200.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was surprised. I didn't
That's
think
a high number.
I know.
Here's a shot
Anyway.
of traffic now out there in Manatee County. This is the scene as we speak at 53rd Avenue East in Bradenton.
All right, stick around. Good Morning America is coming up right up next on ABC 7.